Well, the East Pacific is back at it again with Tropical Depression 3. Let's get right on into it, starting off with the National Hurricane Center page. Tropical Depression 3E has maximum sustained winds of 35 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 1,006 millibars, and moving north at 2 miles an hour. If this storm does form, it will be Tropical Storm Celia. That's apparently the pronunciation of that. So let's take a look here at our warnings and cone. Right now, the National Hurricane Center is predicting this to move directly to the north toward El Salvador and Guatemala, and then take a sharp turn, almost 90 degrees to the west, starting on 1 a.m. Saturday morning and ending around 1 a.m. Sunday, and then remaining a tropical storm from 4 p.m. Thursday, well, maybe a little after that. It's about 7 o'clock as I'm filming this. So let's call it Friday morning to Tuesday. As of now, of course, it can be longer than that as this cone only goes out 5 days. So, arrival time of winds with wind speed probabilities turned on. We have the highest likelihood of tropical storm force winds right about now, between now and Friday at 2 p.m. Now, along the coastlines of El Salvador and Guatemala, you have a 10 to 20% chance of tropical storm force winds, with earliest onset time between Friday at 8 a.m. and Saturday at 8 a.m. So, let's move on here to the current satellite image of this system as it loads up here. You can see that there is plenty of thunderstorm development at the moment, and the only thing that we are waiting on is that wind speed just below the threshold for a tropical storm. And you can see here that center of rotation right in here, and you have thunderstorms on all sides of the storm, and even a little sneak peek at Hurricane Blas over there, as these two storms are very close to each other. So we're going to start off with our current storm information, starting off with our global and hurricane models, showing that move to the north and that sharp turn to the west, and almost heading directly to the west from about 72 hours to 168 hours. The GEFS is kind of showing that, as well as the GEPS. Of course, right now we don't have a lot of data from these models, as the storm is just getting some more of that data. And finally, our European ensemble, which actually has the most data at this point, does show a slight turn back to the west-northwest, right around the 96-hour mark, towards that 240-hour mark. We start to see this moving back up toward about 18 degrees north, as it's kind of moved just off the coast here of Mexico. Kind of slightly gains a little bit more distance as it moves on. Finally, intensity guidance, keeping this a tropical storm based on most of the models here. The cluster that we usually look at for the intensity guidance shows it becoming a tropical storm and kind of staying at that low tropical storm point. Of course, we have outliers showing a strong tropical storm, others showing it staying as a tropical depression throughout its entire lifespan. Let's take a look here at the GFS. Here is Blas, here is 3E, and as the system moves to the north, you can see a little bit more strength there, but kind of wears it down as the GFS has this making landfall in parts of southern Guatemala, and eventually making that turn to the west. Gains a little bit more strength, but not much, until it gets right around, this is Friday at 2 a.m., and Friday, June 24th, so a week from tomorrow, of course. And that moves towards Baja California at almost a hurricane intensity, potentially there. Now, here is the European model here, showing that system right off the coast of Guatemala. Really doesn't have it gaining much strength until it takes that turn towards the west, and then it finally gets under 1,000 millibars, and even could strengthen a bit more. So next up, we're going to take a look at our winds here. Wind speeds. Pretty important part of these storm systems. So the GFS is showing this, gaining that tropical storm intensity here with those greens, and moving towards the north, of course making landfall in Guatemala, or at least skimming the coast of Guatemala at those tropical storm intensities, kind of meandering off the coast of Guatemala, still at a tropical depression, and eventually moving back toward the northwest, picking up a lot of strength here around that June 24th time frame, and eventually becoming maybe a Category 1 hurricane. Now, the European model showing another potentially strong storm in the East Pacific, just taking a little bit of time to do so. Right now, showing this storm kind of meandering off the coast of Guatemala. Still a tropical depression, tropical depression, tropical depression. Really doesn't gain any tropical storm-like qualities here until right about here. This is the 22nd, next Wednesday, and has this system eventually gaining some more strength here towards the 26th, maybe at that higher end tropical storm range, maybe a low end Category 1 hurricane. So with that huge difference in models, and overall with this intensity chart, just a lot of different possibilities. We're really not going to know for sure with this system. The good thing is, with this uncertainty, is that this storm is not projected to be making landfalls, except for maybe in Guatemala. But at that point, we're going to be early enough in the life cycle where it's going to be less boom or bust, but rather a low-end tropical storm or a high-end tropical depression. So that is a good sign for this system. Of course, the track seems pretty down-pat. Of course, all of these ensembles showing that shift toward the west. Now, the European ensemble being the only one that has it moving back towards the west, northwest, and northwest. But of course, the European model does go out longer than the other three. So we'll have to see. That's a story for next week. That is crazy, the duration that this storm could be going on for. But yet again, East Pacific storms do have a mind of their own. So, what do you think about this storm system? Do you think it will become the third straight hurricane in the East Pacific, or do you think it'll stay as a tropical storm? Let me know in the comment section down below, and if you found this video informative, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.